Hey everyone, I'm T Frank and I'm back with another video, and today I want to talk to you guys about a service that I've been using for a while to rent gear. It's a service that I genuinely love, and I actually had the opportunity to partner with them recently, so super excited about that. They're actually the reason I'm able to shoot on the camera I'm shooting on right now, which is the Canon R6, and I also have the RF 24-70 f2.8 lens. I recently used this for an event that I shot for work, and I actually had a really good experience. But I wanted to talk in this video about pretty much why I wanted to rent gear, some reservations that I had, and why I chose Lens Rentals. So without further delay, let's go ahead and jump into this video. So next I want to go ahead and talk about why I felt the need to rent gear. So the first reason is being that I don't want to waste my money and have gear that's just sitting there and not being used. With renting gear, you can rent the gear and really figure out if that gear is going to work for you. I think a lot of times we consume so many YouTube videos and we see all this nice new gear that we think we need, and then when we actually buy it, we realize that that's not even really the gear that we need. So renting gear helps me, not waste my money on purchasing gear that I will never use. Another reason for why I wanted to rent gear is because it allows you to use the gear, and there's some gear that I really love using, but I know that if I purchase it, I really won't use that gear often, especially with this pandemic right now. I'm not shooting a lot of events like I usually do. So I really can't justify buying the lens outright right now. It just makes sense to go ahead and rent this gear and then also factor that into your cost. When you charge the customer, whatever it costs you to rent it, factor that in, and you're really not losing out on any money. So those are kind of some of the reasons why I wanted to rent gear. There's probably a lot more that I can name, but I'm just gonna try to keep this video short. But in the comment section, if you have any ideas on why you want to rent gear, go ahead and just drop it down in the comment below, because I'm super curious as to why you guys would want to rent gear. So let's go ahead and talk about some of my reservations for renting gear. And I basically just was really concerned with the gear getting damaged in transit, and then I would be responsible for it. And that's something that just really gave me a lot of anxiety. But I will say Lens Rentals, they actually have affordable insurance. So that's something that I researched, and it also covers, they have two different tiers of it, and it covers theft, and it's a bunch of things. I'll try to throw it up on the screen to show what it actually covers. But at the max, you'll pay 10% of the cost of the item. So I really think that's a good deal, and that's something that lessened my anxiety. So that's something that you definitely want to know. Another hesitation or reservation that I had was, is this process easy? Like if I have to send it back? But let me tell you, Lens Rentals, they send it out. Shipping is super quick. I normally get it on the day of, and everything is packaged securely. It's just a really easy process. And then they actually even thought about everything, every little detail. They throw in an extra a little bit of tape, so in case you don't have tape, and I don't know what it is, but every time I go to mail something or ship something, I run out of tape or I lose tape. So yeah, this is pretty clutch for me, but the process is super easy. So that was something that was kind of holding me back, and Lens Rentals, they pretty much solved that for me. Another reservation that I had was, does it make sense to rent this gear, or should I just save up my money and buy it? Now, I think it really just depends on the cost of the item that you're renting. Now, if you're renting these $2,000 RF lenses from Canon, yeah, go ahead and keep renting, because by the time you save up money for that, yeah, it's probably gonna be about a good 3 years, 4 years. Okay, I'm joking. But anyways, you get my point. So if it's something that's really cheap and, say it's like $200, but it costs, maybe, I don't know, maybe $70 or more to rent it, a lot of times I'll kind of just say, you know what, maybe it makes more sense for me to buy it. So it really is just gonna depend on the cost. But for me, for the RF lenses that are $2,000-$3,000, I've actually been able to experience quite a few of them with Lens Rentals, and it's because I rented them, versus buying them. And then my next reservation was, what company do I rent from? And I actually went online and I did a bunch of comparisons, just looking at their pricing, also just looking through the availability of what I needed. And I was able to figure out that I wanted to go ahead and just try lens rentals. So in the next point, I'll go ahead and explain like why I chose them. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and talk about why I chose lens rentals. And if I'm being honest with you, really the only thing that made me choose them at first was the price and the availability of the item that I wanted. I actually received a discount code from them, and it actually had, I can't even remember how much it was for, but it had a decent amount for the discount. And then it also allowed me to throw on the lower tier insurance, and I still was at the amount that I was willing to rent for. So that was the first thing that I did. I was a little nervous, but when I went on their site, it was very, very straightforward. I had the item in my cart, I had the dates that I needed it, and I submitted the order, and right away they actually send like a confirmation page of what you submitted, and everything was just quick and smooth. They actually have like customer service, pretty much emails you every step of the way. I even had a time where I moved and they reached out to me to confirm my address change. So that to me is really, really great customer service, and it just was a really easy process. Another thing that I really like with lens rentals, and I told you guys it was really one of my reservations, was about the gear and how it would be sent out, because I was afraid that it would get damaged in transit. But the gear is packed in these big Pelican cases like the one you saw me. Actually, I got, if I can see, I got one behind me and then I got one down here. So let me pick it up. So they're packed in these big secure cases, and then inside of that they actually have, they're inside of another case, and then they have like, they're just securely packed. Just know that. So you don't have to worry about any issues. I've never had an issue with the items being returned and damaged or anything like that. And I have the insurance too, but I just never had an issue. So that is a great thing. So another thing that I really love about lens rentals is that the shipping is super quick. If you're one of those people that's indecisive and change your mind, by the time you try to change your mind, that item is already shipped out to you. I have had a great experience with it, but I will say I did have one time where a lens didn't come on time. Luckily, I wasn't shooting an event or anything, but I did reach out to Lens Rentals, and they had already updated my return date. So it was late by a day, so they added on an extra day automatically for me. So that was just great customer service, And I don't know, I thought that I would have to fight with them and have to get them to, it was just, they understood what happened. They had already rectified the issue in their system and updated it to a later date, and it was just really great customer service. I also mentioned this, but I'll just throw it in there again, as I talked about the packaging and just them thinking out things and putting tape in there. And even when you open the box, they normally put, like cut on this side. So they tell you what side to cut on, and then you have the shipping label, which all you have to do is just paste that on there, drop it off at FedEx, and you're good to go. And as I've mentioned, another reason really why I love renting from Lens Rentals is customer service. That's really something that's super important to me in this day and age. There are so many competitors out there, so many different options that we have as consumers. So for me, and this is in all aspects of my life, if you want my funds, give me good customer service. If you don't want my money, treat me poorly and I will go elsewhere. So with Lens Rentals, I told you, I just basically tested them out in the beginning to see how the experience would be. And it was such a positive experience that I don't even look for anyone else. I literally go to Lens Rentals for everything. And I've really just been pleased with the service that they give me. I'm gonna mention a few other things that I really love about Lens Rentals, and like when you have the gear, if you need to extend it, you can do that. So you can reach out to customer service and they can assist you with that. I actually ordered the gear that I have right now for an event, and I ordered it maybe 2 to 3 weeks early. And then the event was rescheduled for a later date, and I was able to reach out to them, and they actually updated the dates, and they actually sent the camera to me a few days early. And then I still have the same return date. So, and I can go on and on about how great their customer service is. Like, they really just make it an enjoyable and positive experience for anytime that I rent, I really just can't even say anything bad about Lens Rentals. And anytime that I email them, they actually respond back really quickly and take care of anything that I need. They also have tech support, so if you're having any issues, you can actually reach out to tech support. So I think that's pretty cool that they have tech support available for you. Another thing that I really like is that they have promotional discounts that they offer all the time. I actually, for my husband's birthday, I was able to get him a lens, and we basically got a week for free because it was a discount that they had at that time. So another thing I forgot to mention is that they actually only keep their gear for up to 2 years. So you're always gonna get gear that's in really good condition, that's taken care of, that's inspected, and that's important when you're taking this gear out on events and you're shooting, you know. So that's definitely something that you should think of when you're renting gear from these gear rental places. So that pretty much wraps up this video. I really just wanted to sit down and have a chat with you guys talking about my experience with Lens Rentals and, you know, just some of the reservations and stuff that I had and why I went with this company. And customer service really just, their customer service is really just exceptional. So I do have an affiliate link. Make sure you click on that link if you do go rent gear. Also use my code TFrank15 for a discount, 15% off. And go ahead and leave me a comment down below letting me know your experience if you do use Lens Rentals. So thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch this video. I'm T Frank, and I'll catch you in my next video.